Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Today, we're diving into the fascinating intersection of biology, environment, and policy to better understand crime. Our presentation is titled Understanding Crime Through Biological and Environmental Perspectives, and we'll explore how nature and nurture together influence criminal behavior. We'll also discuss how integrating these insights can lead to more effective crime prevention strategies. I'm excited to take you through this comprehensive approach to analyzing and addressing crime. Let's get started. When we talk about the roots of criminal behavior, it's important to consider both nature and nurture. On the nature side, biological factors come into play. This means looking at genetics and physiology to understand how they might influence someone's likelihood to commit crimes. Essentially, certain inherited traits or brain functions could contribute to criminal tendencies. On the other hand, nurture focuses on the environment around a person. Social context, upbringing, and the community someone grows up in can greatly shape their behavior. Factors like family dynamics, peer influence, and socioeconomic conditions often play a crucial role in either steering someone away from or toward criminal activity. So, understanding crime means looking at this complex interaction between biology and environment. Let's look at how our understanding of crime has evolved over time. Early biological theories, like Lombroso's concept of atavism, proposed that criminals were evolutionary throwbacks identifiable by specific physical features. While this idea is outdated, it marked one of the first attempts to link biology with criminal behavior. On the other hand, social theories, such as social disorganization, shifted the focus to the environment, emphasizing how the breakdown of community structures and social environments can contribute to crime. Over time, these perspectives have merged into more integrated approaches that acknowledge how both biological predispositions and social conditions interact to influence criminal behavior. This comprehensive view helps us better understand the complexity of crime today. When we look at the biology of crime, there are several key factors to consider. First, genetic influences play a role, particularly variations in the MAOA gene, which have been linked to increased aggression and impulsivity. Next, brain structure abnormalities, especially in the prefrontal cortex, are important because this area is crucial for decision-making and self-control. When it's impaired, it can lead to difficulties in regulating behavior. Additionally, neurochemical imbalances can affect how we manage our actions and emotions. It's important to note that while these biological components help us understand predispositions to certain behaviors, they do not by themselves determine whether someone will commit a crime. There's often a complex interaction between biology and environment at work. When we talk about shaping behavior, one of the most important factors is the environment in which a person grows up. First, family dynamics play a crucial role. Parenting styles and early childhood experiences lay the foundation for how individuals develop. Next, peer influences are significant as well. Friends and social groups can either encourage or discourage behaviors, sometimes leading to deviant actions. Socioeconomic status also has a strong impact, as it determines access to resources and often brings exposure to various stressors that affect behavior. Educational opportunities and the conditions of the neighborhood further shape a person's life chances and the social norms they encounter daily. It's important to remember that these environmental factors don't work in isolation. They interact with a person's individual traits, creating different outcomes depending on that combination. Understanding this interplay helps us see why behavior develops the way it does. When we talk about crime, it's important to understand that it doesn't stem from biology or environment alone, but from the complex interactions between the two. Biological predispositions, or genetic tendencies, often remain inactive unless triggered by certain environmental factors. For example, a person may carry genetic vulnerabilities, but without adverse experiences or stressors, these might never lead to criminal behavior. On the other hand, negative environments, like exposure to violence or neglect, can activate these genetic risks, increasing the likelihood of criminality. Conversely, protective environments, such as supportive families or positive social networks, can buffer these risks and help prevent negative outcomes. This dynamic reminds us that biology is not destiny. Because of this intricate interplay, any approach to understanding or addressing crime needs to be nuanced, taking into account both inherited traits and the surrounding environment to fully grasp behavior. Modern biosocial crime theories acknowledge that there isn't just one simple cause of criminal behavior. Instead, they integrate multiple pathways, looking at how genetic, neurological, psychological, and sociological factors all play a role. These theories emphasize that it's not just about biology or environment alone, but how these elements dynamically interact and influence each other over time. This approach moves us beyond basic, one-dimensional explanations, allowing for a more accurate and holistic understanding of why crime occurs. When it comes to crime prevention and policy, one key approach is tailoring interventions to fit individual risk profiles. This means considering both biological and environmental factors unique to each person, rather than using a one-size-fits-all method. Next, prevention programs should focus on improving the environments that influence behavior, like enhancing family conditions, education opportunities, and community resources, which can help address root causes before problems escalate. It's also important to recognize the complexity of these issues in policymaking. Effective policies should move beyond just punishment and instead embrace this complexity by incorporating strategies that address underlying factors. Finally, supportive policies that promote rehabilitation, early intervention, and social support are crucial. These not only help reduce criminal behavior, but also foster long-term positive outcomes for individuals and communities alike. When discussing biosocial criminology, it's crucial to address some of the controversies and ethical concerns that come with it. First, there's the risk of stigmatization and discrimination. If genetic or neurological traits are linked to criminal behavior, individuals with those traits might be unfairly labeled or treated differently, which can reinforce harmful stereotypes. Next, there's the ongoing debate about determinism. Some worry that emphasizing biological factors could reduce personal accountability and the understanding of free will, potentially excusing criminal actions. Another significant concern is the potential misuse of this information in policy or law enforcement, where it might infringe on individual rights or lead to discriminatory practices. Because of these challenges, it's essential that research in this area is conducted responsibly, with careful application to avoid harm and promote fairness and justice in society. Looking ahead, the future of crime research is really exciting and full of potential. One major development is the move toward personalized interventions. This means creating strategies that are tailored to an individual's unique biological and environmental background, which could make prevention and rehabilitation much more effective. We're also seeing significant growth in neurocriminology, a field that investigates how brain function influences criminal behavior. Understanding the neurological factors behind crime could open up new ways to address and reduce offending. Another important trend is the expansion of interdisciplinary research. By combining genetics, neuroscience, psychology, and sociology, researchers can get a more comprehensive picture of crime and its causes. Ultimately, these emerging advances aim to deepen our understanding and improve crime prevention strategies. However, it's crucial that we balance these innovations with strong ethical considerations to ensure that interventions are both effective and fair.